And the slideshow from current slide. All right, so once again, good afternoon, my fellow classmates in this College of Law. Good afternoon, attorney. Here I am. This is the continuation of report given by our first reporter, Sir John Martinez. This is in relation with the Republic Act number 8550 as amended by RA number 10654 or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. So again, I'm a regular reporter, Rommel and Peracullo. All right. So I was assigned to report chapter 3. This is with regards to the reconstitution of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources and the creation of the Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council. All right. So before I proceed to my report, allow me to have a roll call first, just a few seconds, though my report is just very few. So I just want to check out if my fellow classmates are still there. Okay, so we are here at the College of Law Radio. Okay, so what you're going to do, my fellow classmates, is when I call your name, you are going to say Radio Law Broadcasting, state your name in action. Is it copy? Example, if my name is called, say for example, Radio Law Broadcasting Rommel. Radio Law Broadcasting Rommel in action. Ganun tayo. Ganun lang yung response natin. Okay na ba tayo lahat?
Yeah.
Can you send it on the chat, attorney?
Come again?
Can you send it in the chat so we can read? We can read the script.
All right. Okay. Because this is a holy hour, so we have to Radio Law Broadcasting, then your name. Okay, in action. Okay, so yun lang yung gagawin natin. Okay, Radio Law Broadcasting, your name, then in action. Okay po. Proceed. Okay, a moment, please. Let's start this one. Good afternoon, everyone. We are here at the College of Law, Radio Law Broadcasting. Anthony, please come in.
Hello, Radio Law Broadcasting. Anthony in action.
That's good. All right, let's hear from our field reporter. Let me hear from Radio Law Broadcasting Nerio.
Hello, Radio Law Broadcasting Nerio in action.
Nice. All right, let's proceed. Radio Law Broadcasting Maribeth.
Radio Law Broadcasting Mabet in action.
Stand by, please. Radio Law Broadcasting John Mark.
Good afternoon. Radio Law Broadcasting, Mr. Martinez in action.
Copy on that. Radio Law Broadcaster Nestor on the field.
Hello, Radio Law Broadcaster Nestor in action.
All right. Radio Law Broadcasting John.
Hello, Sir Rommel. Radio Law Broadcasting John in action.
All right. Stand by. Radio Law Broadcasting Puresima Athena.
Hello, Radio Law. Hello, good afternoon. Radio Law Broadcasting, Athena in action.
Nice. All right. Let's have Radio Law Broadcasting Nika.
Hello. Radio Law Broadcasting Nika K in action.
Okay, nice. Stand by. Radio Law Broadcaster Russell. Russell, please. All right, let's proceed.
Radio Law Broadcasting, Russell William, go in action.
All right. Radio Law Broadcaster Efren Joseph.
Radio Broadcasting, Efren Joseph in action.
Okay, copy. Radio Law Broadcasting. Mika, please. Mika. Mika? Okay, maybe Mika is busy. Let's proceed. Radio Law Broadcaster, Annie Rose, please.
Radio Law Broadcasting, Annie Rose in action.
All right, thank you. Please stand by. Radio Law Broadcasting, Sandos, please.
Radio Law Broadcasting, Sandos in action.
Very nice. All right, Radio Law Broadcaster, Apple, come in. Okay, so maybe Apple is not yet ready. Okay, let's proceed. So here again, I am your radio anchorman, Mr. Rommel Peracullo Melquiades, reporting in this subject, natural resources.
Hello, Radio Law Broadcasting, Linus in action.
Oh, sorry. All right, that's good. Thank you so much, Linus. You are in. Sorry, I almost forgot. Okay, so let's go back. So everybody is in. It is rest assured that we are all ready to listen with the report. And my report is just very few. That is why I just have to check if all are ready. So once again, Ma'am Trina, good afternoon. So I am here to report the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998 as amended under Republic Act number 855 as amended by RA number 10654. So in here, I go over with the resilient provisions under this law, and we will start at section 63. Section 63 is the creation of the position of Undersecretary for Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. There is hereby created in the Department of Agriculture the position of Undersecretary for Fisheries and Aquatic Resources solely for purpose of attending to the needs of the fishing industry, to be appointed by the President. Such Undersecretary shall have the following functions. A, to set policies and formulate standards for the effective, efficient, and economical operations of the fishing industry in accordance with the program of the government. B, to exercise overall supervision over all functions and activities of all offices and instrumentalities and other offices related to fisheries, including its officers. C, to establish with the assistance of the director, such as regional, provincial, and other fishery officer as may be necessary and appropriate, and organize the internal structure of Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in such a manner as is necessary for the efficient and effective attainment of its objective and purposes. And the fourth one is to perform such other functions as may be necessary or proper to attain the objective of this code. All right, so please please let us take note of this, that the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources is just an umbrella of the Department of Agriculture. This is why the title of my report is a reconstitution, meaning to say this is the restoring of a particular agency of the government in order to do its function, more focusing on fisheries and aquatic resources. Okay, so section 70, it is the creation and composition of the National Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council, or the NFARMC. So there is hereby created the National Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council, hereinafter referred to as NFARMC, or the National Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council, as an advisory, recommendatory body to the department. The NFERMC shall be composed of 15 members consisting of the Undersecretary of Agriculture as the chairman, the Undersecretary of the Interior and Local Government, 5 members representing the fisher folks and fish workers, 5 members representing commercial fishing and aquaculture and the processing sectors, 2 members from the academe, and 1 representative of NGOs involved in fisheries. The members of the NFERMC, except for the Undersecretary of Agriculture and the Undersecretary of the Interior and Local Government shall be appointed by the President upon the nomination of the respective organization. All right, so in this section, it is given emphasis the creation of the National Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council, their corresponding bodies, their positions. All right, next we have section 75, the composition of the municipal Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council or the Community Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council. So the regular member of this municipal Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council or the Community Fisheries Aquatic Resources Management Council shall be composed of: first, we have the municipal or the city planning development officer. Then we have the chairperson, agriculture, fishery, fishery committee on Sangguniang Bayang Panlungsod or Panglungsod. We have the representative of the municipal city development council, a representative from the accredited non-government organization or our NGOs. We have the representative from the private sector. We have the representative from the Department of Agriculture. And last is the 7 fisher folk representative of the municipal fisher folk and 1 fish worker and 3 commercial fishers in each municipality or city, which include representative from youth and women's sector. The council shall adopt rules and regulations necessary to govern its proceeding and election. And in section 76, the Integrated Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Council or the IFERMCs. The Integrated Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Councils shall be created in bays, gulfs, lakes, and so it's been covered here. I cannot see, excuse me. And rivers and dams bounded by 2 or more municipalities. Okay, let's proceed. So here I quote important provisions as amended by RA number 10654 by virtue of RA number 8550. Meaning to say, I just get a very important section and the details or the elements of RA 10654 that was amended by virtue of RA number 8550. Okay, so under Republic Act number 8550 or the Fisheries Code of the Philippines, first element is to prepare and implement a comprehensive national fisheries industry development plan. Second is to issue licenses for the operation of commercial fishing vessels. Third is to issue an identification card free of charge to fish workers engaged in commercial fishing. Fourth is to monitor and review joint fishing agreements between Filipino citizens and foreigners who conduct fishing activities in international waters and ensure that such agreements are not contrary to the Philippine commitment under international treaties and convention on fishing high seas. However, as amended by our RA number 10654, we can only say only one. That is the first element under section 65 of RE number 8550, that is to prepare and implement a comprehensive national fisheries industry development plan. As we all know, all the related elements under this is almost incorporated in letter A. No, to issue licenses and operation of commercial fishing, it must be inserted or incorporated in the comprehensive and national fisheries industry planning or development plan. Together with the issuance of identification card to monitor and review, this is part of fisheries industry development plan. That is why, if you have to look at it, RA number 8550 as amended by RA number 10654, we can see the difference. There are a little bit omission of the elements which are redundant, and it's being incorporated into one. All right, let's proceed. So again, we are still on section 65, functions of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. In our RA number 8550, as amended by RA number 10654, it is stated that letter R, formulate the rules and regulations for the conservation and management of straddling fish stocks and highly migratory fish stocks. However, here, as amended by RA number 10654, it states that formulate and implement rules and regulations for conservation and management of straddling fish stocks, highly migratory fish stocks, and threatened living marine resources such as sharks, rays, and ludong, inter alia, in the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone, Territorial Sea, archipelagic and internal waters, in coordination with the LGUs and integrated municipal or cities fisheries and aquatic resources management council. So if we're going to take a look by RA number 10654, by virtue of RA number 8550, we can say that as it is amended, it was very it given emphasis very specific, no, because here in our RE number 8550, it is in a general formulations of the guiding principle, no, formulate rules and regulation for the conservation and management of straddling fish stocks and highly migratory fish stocks, which means it's not so specific. So that's why as it is amended in RE number 10654, it was very specified, no, it was so specific. What are these straddling that needs to be focused, that needs to be given attention in focus? These are the fish stocks and the migratory fish stocks. And what are these? We have the sharks, rays, ludong. Okay, so that is under the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone, Territorial Sea, and archipelagic and trail. So it's very clear, no? As we said about the territory. So we can see the difference. How is it being amended from RA 8550 to RA number 10654? It is so very specific. Okay, so next again, element letter S in our RA number 8550, it says perform such other related functions which will promote the development, conservation, management, protection, and utilization of fisheries and aquatic resources. What develop and conserve? It is so broad in nature. That's why as it is amended by RA number 10654, so it is very well specified saying train, designate, and deploy fisheries observers in the Philippine plugged fishing vessels engaged in commercial fishing in the Philippine waters or distant water fishing to ensure compliance with conservation and management measures adopted by the regional fisheries management offices and by the department. Okay, so dito, alam natin, it's very specified, no? It's very specific. Who are these people who need to develop and conserve and protect all these marine resources or other aquatic resources? So what is being specified under RA 10654 as amended is to train. Who are to be trained? The designate, deploy fisheries observers under the Philippine flag fishing vessels. Okay, so let's proceed. In our RA, there are elements under Section 65, functions of Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, which is not mentioned in our RA number 8550, and it was being added in our in the amendment under RA number 10654. And what are these? For letter T, that is to implement boarding and inspection protocols upon Philippine flagged fishing vessels in order to promote observance to international treaty obligations and food safety, to curb illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, and to comply with conservation and management measures. So it is very well detailed, the functions of the Bureau on what to do by the BFAR to implement all the vessels that may come into the territory of the Philippine Sea. Okay. So next is also not present in RE number 8550 is adopt an appropriate monitoring, control, surveillance, and traceability system for municipal fishing vessel supplying exporters with occurrence of the local government units. Okay, dito tayo medyo may case tayo dito when it comes to economic exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. No, ito yung pinag-aagawan natin yung Scarborough Shoal together with kaya medyo we must have to be well updated about this issue kasi dapat we have to assert if it is really for us, then it should be the Philippine territory. So next is this is also not present in RA number 8550 as amended by RA number 10654. That is to adopt and implement a national plan of action to manage fishing capacity, implement the International Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries, and declare fishery management area as overexploited in coordination with the LGU and farm the Fishers of Aquatic Resource Management Council. So ito yung kanilang mga functions, ito yung kanilang mga dapat binabantayan ng ating BFAR, no? So there should be no overharvesting, no? To implement and adopt the national plan of action to manage the resources, the aquatic resources that is only sufficient for the family use for economic purposes. All right. So again, we don't have it. It was not mentioned in RA number 8550, but it is present in our RA number 10654 as amended. It says require performance band and impose and collect reasonable fees and charges for laboratory services, inspection, deployment of fisheries observers, and catch documentation and validation, taking into account the balance required between recovering and cost of services rendered and socioeconomic impact of their imposition upon prior consultation with stakeholders. Okay, so very well elaborated, no? That is to require the performance or the band. What's supposed to be is the thing to be imposed to those fishers whom they did not come up with the correct way or process of fishing, no? Those illegal fishers. Okay, the reasonable charges to be imposed to them. All right, so we also have here as amended by RA number 10654 that is not present in our RA 8550. That is to hear and decide administrative cases before it. Okay, and to determine the appropriate level of administrative and other sanctions, particularly for serious violations that deprive offenders of economic benefits from their violations of the laws, rules, and regulations. Later, I will be showing an example on how is this law implemented as amended by RA number 10654. Okay, then we also have here to initiate the criminal prosecution of offenses committed in violation of this code regardless of their status and perform such other related functions which shall promote the development, conservation, management, protection, and utilization of fisheries and aquatic resources. So if we are going to take a look at the law itself, the law is very good, only that the law sometimes is not being followed, no? Marami kasing mga law breaker. Okay, so here comes a case with particular of case on the functions and the duties of Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, how this BFAR implement these violators or yeah, the fisher folks who are violating the law. This case is entitled The People of the Philippines versus Rolando Kaya, HR number 196735, date November 20, 2013. So the topic here is with regards to the violation of the fisheries code or the illegal fishing. The facts of the case are the following. Rolando Kayat was caught by a law enforcers fishing using dynamite, a destructive form of fishing prohibited under the fisheries code. He was charged with violation of Section 88 of Republic Act 8550, that is our Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998, which penalizes the uses of explosives in fishing. Kayat denied the charge and claimed he was merely on his bangka and not engaged in illegal fishing. So the trial court convicted him and the Court of Appeal affirmed the conviction. Kayat elevated the case to the Supreme Court. So what was the issue of the case? There are two concerned issues of this case. First, whether or not the prosecution proved beyond reasonable doubt that Kayat violated the fisheries code, or that is your RA 8550. And the second is whether the mere possession and use of dynamite for fishing constitute a violation of RA 8550 or the fisheries code of the Philippines. And the ruling here is yes, the Supreme Court held that the prosecution sufficiently proved that Kayat was caught in the act of fishing using dynamite. The testimony of the law enforcers was credible and established the elements of the offense. And under Section 88 of the Republic Act 8550 or the Fisheries Code of the Philippines, it is unlawful to fish using explosives, toxic substances, or electricity because of its destructive effect on marine resources. The court ruled that the use of dynamite in fishing is mala prohibita. The mere commission of the act, regardless of intent, is punishable. And the conviction was affirmed, emphasizing the state constitutional duty to protect marine wealth and resources for the benefit of future generations. So the doctrine lies ahead is illegal fishing using explosive under the Fisheries Code in mala prohibita offense. Proof of intent is unnecessary. The mere act of fishing with explosive is punishable. The state has a constitutional mandate to protect marine wealth, and violations of the Fisheries Code will be strictly dealt with to safeguard the environment. All right, so that ends my slide. And if you have many questions or if you have any question, just preserve it for us to answer later in the open forum question. Thank you. Are there any questions? Or later we have to entertain the questions na lang po.